Hey guys, welcome back to another Vertigo video. We're gonna get right into it. The title says it all. This will be the conclusion of the Smash Ultimate Star KO tier list. It's been a long time coming. I apologize for the amount of time in between each video. It's a bit of a tedious video to make, but it's fun, and I hope you enjoy it. And also, thank you guys for the amount of comments that I got on my previous video. I saw that the Spaniards, I know that that's not how you're supposed to say it. I saw the Spaniards found me, and there were a lot of really interesting comments, and I really appreciate it. And if any of you guys watch this video, I'm extremely thankful. Anyways, thank you again, and let's get into it. Alright guys, our first one is Ken, the Blonde Wonder. I'm just Ken. So I switched this up because I was doing Final Destination exclusively last time, and I thought I would do King of Fighters, you know, just make sure we get a little diversity in there. Are there no Galagas on this stage? I put items, and I put only Galaga on high frequency. Guys, they're not showing up. Okay, what the fuck? Alright, let's just freaking kill him already. I guess we're going back to Final Destination, but is this a thing? Are there not the freaking aliens, the Galagas? Do they not appear on the stage? Because if so, I legit had no idea. Okay. Now I got him. Okay, we're done with that. We're done with that. Alright, take two. I wanted diversity, but I guess we're just gonna stick with Final Destination then. There we go. Okay. And finally. That took way too much time, my guy. Okay. We're gonna pause that one. So, to me, that definitely sounds quite a bit like physical pain. Not the sort of psychological torture of your sports team loss, and not super existential. Also, looking at Ken, not to stereotype, but I don't really peg him as the existential type. Yeah, so we're gonna go with he stepped on a Lego. That will be the first one represented this video. Alright, next is Cloud, also known as a sword. That might be a little sneak preview for something that I might do. We'll see. What's he doing? Alright. Yeah, get him! Get him! Alright, so this one's a little bit tough. I'm not getting Lego vibes. I'm getting something that feels a little bit more psychological. I was initially leaning towards existential, but it doesn't really seem as deep. It doesn't feel as profound of a scream to me. It's more you know, maybe he bet a good amount of money on his team and they couldn't pull through, and it's Aww! I know I don't sound like Cloud, but no, that's it. Yeah. His favorite sports team lost. Okay, next we got Orin. How about my Kazuya, huh? I've kind of been working on Kazuya lately. I don't think I'm getting a whole lot of success. I'm not even an elite, so I'll have to give you guys an update on that. He falls right into it. So, that one to me, it's not completely dissimilar to Cloud. I think they're maybe cousins of each other. Also, just you know, I don't really know a whole lot about these characters, you know, some of them outside of just Smash. Corrin looks a little bit more deep, I think a little bit more academic. It's kind of like he's processing really tough information, and it's not as shallow as like a sports thing. I'm actually going existential on that one. Yeah, I think Corrin's an interesting character. I went with boy Corrin instead of girl Corrin. I think that there's weird lore about Corrin out there, and some of it I'm a little bit afraid to look up. That's not important. Okay, we're going existential this time. Ah, good old mayonnaise. There's mayonnaise and I can't really do Patrick's voice either. I'm not like an impressions guy, okay? Got her. Oh god. Okay, so Bayonetta's Star KO has always been like a top 5 for me. I was like very excited to do this one. To me, it's deep, it's profound, there's a lot there. I'm going with existential. Okay, our girl is deep and existential, so that's my answer. Oh my god, I fucking hate Inkling, dude. Oh my god, I can't believe she survived that. Speaking of Inkling, though completely unrelated, shout out to my brother, Alaskan Inkling. Thanks for watching the video, my guy. Got her ass! Okay. Call me crazy, but that's like really, really weak. I know it's kind of like the whole like squid thing and sounds a little bit like underwater, and maybe, you know, outside of the underwater situation, it might sound a little bit more deep, but I mean, that's weak, dude. That's weak. I'm actually gonna say that this is barely an inconvenience. And who could forget about the devilish, Mr. Don? Little known fact, but arch rival to Jim Basketball Hoop. Yeah, true story. Again, possibly a sneak preview for something that I'm gonna do. Again, making this video, there's always the risk that I'm gonna like misinterpret or misdiagnose something. I don't know that much about Ridley, okay? He kind of looks like a big, stupid dragon. And I'm not gonna lie, it feels like there's some power, it feels like there's some force behind that. I can't really place it in a cerebral category. So therefore, by nature, I kind of have to say that old Ridley stepped on a Lego. End of story. Ah, Simon. This move will eventually kill, obviously, and could turn into a Star KO. He helped me out. Yeah, this is another one I'm not exactly going to give a whole lot of thought to. Guys, Simon, he stepped on a Lego. Ah, der Richter. Fun fact, Richter means judge in German. I can't do impressions to save my life, but I can speak multiple languages. You're just standing there. Oh, he couldn't get it off. Yeah, that one... You know, guys, part of doing this video, I don't want to, like, overthink it. I just kind of want to go with what my basic instinct is. And unfortunately, that means that some categories are just going to get more ignored than others. This one seemed a little bit more deep, a little bit more interesting than Simon. His ancestor? They're not brothers or cousins. I know that for sure. Anyways, Richter, he's existential. King K. Rool. This is my brother's main. I mentioned Alaskan Inkling earlier. Shout out again. Turn around, you idiot. This one, like, again, I don't really know K. Rool's voice. Allegedly, he has, like, an English accent or something. I guess we'll find out when the Donkey Kong movie comes out. But, like, it's just, like... It's like the equivalent of that. And that doesn't sound very passionate, so... I'm actually going to say that K. Rool is going in the barely an inconvenience category. Oh, fuck Isabelle, dude. Like a good Isabella is one of the most annoying people on the planet. Also, I'm not a good one, so actually much respect to people who are, because I can't do that shit. She hit her head and then got caught. I mean, what am I supposed to say about that? Like, silence can mean a lot of different things. People can be silent for a lot of different reasons. But my god, man, an alien spaceship is taking you away and you give me nothing? You give us nothing. I don't know how to interpret it. I'm just gonna say that, like, she's happy that it's over. Okay, she's quiet, calmly accepting her fate. Thank God this is finally over. Okay? So Isabella's just happy that it's over. Incineroar! Now it's on his face. Now it's on his leg. He's gonna get him? Come on. Yeah! Get him! This one is... I can go anyway. I'm breaking my rule a little bit by giving, like a non-human character, like a little bit more depth. There are non-human characters in this game that have plenty of depth, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But I've followed a system, you know, up until this point. And to me, that sounds a little bit more like frustration, you know? And frustration, you know, we got a category for that. The whole sports team thing. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say that Incineroar, you know, watched his favorite team lose. All right. Piranha Plant. Dude, I already know this one's going to be boring. I know what it is. My Diddy's not bad, though. He's like a dark horse in my mains, honestly. I'd give him maybe a 4 out of 10. Alright, let's get this over with. Okay. So, guys, I mean... It's quiet as fuck, obviously. He's a goddamn plant. I know that there's, like, a level of sentience there. I know that, like, they're alive and stuff, but, like... Act like it, okay? Act like you have, like, an ounce of pain or an ounce of freaking, you know, passion for what's happening to you. Some intensity, you know? Give us a little bit of that, okay? There was nothing, okay? And I don't know, I guess technically you can inconvenience a plant, but, I mean... End of story, right? Piranha Plant is barely an inconvenience. Joker. Take that. You barista? Oh my god. Is CPU Joker that bad? Also, I don't know if he's a barista, okay? I don't really know anything about Persona. Oh my god, just get in there! Okay, next one will do it. There we go. My Mega Man is still cooking, by the way. What do you guys think? Yeah, I've seen that, huh? He's got pipes. He's got depth. I respect it. I could go a couple different directions on this one too, but I am gonna say that Joker is existential. Hero. So I tried to pick the hero that my friend Payne uses. I think this is the one that he's been using lately, so also shout out to him. Also, if you guys like my Mega Man, you're gonna love my Sonic. Payne says my Sonic is an 8 out of 10 2 videos ago, so go check that out. I don't know what you guys thought about that one. I mean, the thing that I think is that, like imagine someone is getting waxed, right? And imagine that their hairs are being, like, peeled off individually one at a time, and it just probably really freaking hurts, right? Like, that's what I feel like is happening to him. Now, unfortunately, that's not a category specifically, but we do conveniently have the Lego category. So this hero is going in the stepped on a Lego category. Oh, come on, I don't want to watch this. Banjo's my main. So let's get it over with. So, Speaking of my friend Payne, he's like, oh, like almost every time he hears that, he's like I can't believe that's Banjo's actual voice. I believe it. You know, he gives off the impression of like a goofy bear. You know, like, I don't know. It wasn't a whole lot. It seemed really casual, kind of half-assed. And half-assed can really only mean one thing. You know, we're putting that shit in the barely an inconvenience category. Terry. Well, I can tell you this, he's going to be suffering a terrible fate. So guys, how about my snake? What the fuck? How about my snake? Or as some might say, that classic PlayStation character, Splinter Cell. Game! Oh my god. Oh my god. Terry's a fighting game character, alright? He's like the fighting, like the physically kind of like the fighting type. And so I can't hear that and not think like intense physical pain. I can't. Okay? I'm gonna have to put him in the stepped on a Lego category. You know, I see that like, oh, he's like, it's like his arm's being twisted behind his back really hard and there's nothing he can do to stop it. Yeah, he's going in the stepped on a Lego. Ah, Byleth. I've been looking forward to this one. Oh, my snake's got some moves.
My battle is here!
The ones where they say things are always really funny. Like, we have, like, the classic, like, Pit, right? I never learned how to read. Right? And we got this one, my battle ends here. It doesn't sound like he's in a lot of pain. There's enthusiasm behind it. I get a little sigh of relief. I don't know, I'm not just trying to give this category love for the sake of giving it love. I know I keep saying that. But, like, I'm going to say that Byleth actually goes into, like, the just happy it's over category. God, fucking Min, dude. Fun fact, I didn't even have all of the characters when I started making this video. I had to buy them. I had to spend money on this shit. So I hope you guys watched the video. Got her. Okay, so there's a couple options here. It's a little whiny. Min Min is a little whiny. I get great pleasure saying that. And when I think whiny, I think tantrum. And when I think tantrum, I think you don't get something that you really want. You might see where I'm going with this. But I'm actually leaning towards placing Min Min in the sports category. You know, like her boys, you know, they fumbled at the 1 yard line and couldn't do it. You know, that gives grown men tantrums. It could give someone like Min Min a tantrum for all I know, freaking noodle-armed asshole. That's what I'm gonna say. Favorite sports team lost. Steve. I actually just watched the Minecraft movie while I was on the plane back from Spain, and pretty good. I can see why it made all that money. Another one of these quiet fucking characters, dude. Obviously, like, certain characters, their expressions change. Some of them are, like, really expressive. Steve isn't really one of those characters. I think even if you were gonna, like, zoom in really close on the whole, like, Star KO thing, I don't think he'd have, like, a much of a different expression. So silence speaks a little bit different to me this time. I think I'm actually gonna say that Steve belongs in the barely an inconvenience category. What the fuck is he doing? I know he looks like a ball, but you can't just kick him like that. You can't dribble him. Guy thinks he's fucking Messi. Hurry up! Oh my god. Fucking Gallagher's gone. He got fried. Any life form that was in there is gone. Are there canonically even people in those things? I don't get it. Or is it just is it a thing? It's not like a little actual tiny alien spaceship, is it? I'm just using this as an excuse to monologue. Pick up the... Remember this? You guys get Meta Knight again. I think I put him in the existential category. It scooped him up. I have a question. Hey Sephiroth, what's bread made out of? I don't know if you guys agree, but it kind of sounds like he says no. I don't know. I'm not getting a lot from him, obviously. You know, for someone who looks the way he does, you know, I would expect like a little bit more oomph. You know, I don't really feel it. I'm gonna say Sephiroth is barely an inconvenience. Pyra and Mythra. If I can put them in the same category, that would be convenient. But we're judging based off of merit. I like that one. Alright, I know that there are easier ways to do this, but like we're just gonna wait for her to turn into Mythra. Any second now. There we go. We're gonna be here a while apparently. And then I can't believe that didn't get her. Con prisa, vamos! Don't dribble me. Don't do that.
Game.
Okay. I'm not doing this to make my life easier. But like I'm feeling like internal pain. Like you had a flight of iced coffees of different delightful flavors, hazelnuts, caramel, regular, white chocolate, mocha. And now you're, you know, in the bathroom fighting for your life. That's kind of what I get from these two. So conveniently, they're actually both going to go in the stepped on a Lego category. Banjo and Kazooie. Just kidding, I know his name's Kazuya. Turn around. These people gotta turn around. I will say that one thing I did like about that is like, I feel like more so than others, you can kind of tell that he takes a breath. And that usually means physical pain. You take in air so you can let it out, and you know, there's all that data that says that screaming or cursing when you feel physical pain diminishes the reality of that pain for you, allegedly. And also, it's the way he looks. Okay, he's a fighter. I might interpret his screams kind of in that way. So that's what I'm going to say. It's getting a lot of love. That's how it is. But we're going to say that Kazuya stepped on a Lego. And everyone, this is our last person. This is the last person of the tier list. Let's go.
Game.
Yikes, dude. Yikes. I'm going to say this, and, you know, I'm going to say it in a way that feels authentic to me, but... And I'm not like a traditional guy, you know, and I've never wanted to be. But I hear that, and I'm like, my God, dude, grow a fucking pair. That's a whiny-ass dude, okay? If I've ever heard one in my entire life. That's a little fucking tantrum boy, okay? I'm done with it. I'm done with this video. I'm done with this series. No, this has been genuinely, actually, this has been really fun. But you can kind of see where I'm going with this. To me, this is a little bit of like the male equivalent of the Min Min Scream. And therefore, I think it actually belongs in a similar category. So I'm going to say that Sora's precious fucking Yankees, or whatever team he likes. No disrespect to anyone who likes the Yankees. Lost. They lost, and he's sad about it, and he's throwing a wee little tantrum about it. But yeah, Sora's going in that category. And that's it. Guys, let's check out the results. Guys, that is the conclusion of the tier list. Now, if you had any alternate opinions, if you thought certain characters should go in other categories, I mean, please feel free to leave me a comment. Any comment helps the channel, it helps with visibility. You guys were absolute all-stars last time again, so once again, thank you for that. It's been real, more fun stuff coming. I appreciate you guys. All right, take care.